What's up everyone and welcome back to the UFC News Hub. Today let's get started with what's next for Paddy Pimblett after UFC WIN. Paddy Pimblett has silenced a lot of critics with his impressive performance at UFC 314, and now fans are wondering what's next for the baddie. Heading into the fight, some still questioned whether Paddy truly belonged among the lightweight elite, but after what he did to Michael Chandler, those doubts have all but vanished. Chandler, a respected veteran and former Bellator champ, had very few answers for Paddy inside the octagon. Aside from a few brief moments during grappling exchanges, Chandler was outclassed in nearly every area. Pimblett not only held his own in the clinch and on the ground, but he also battered Chandler on the feet, showcasing striking that's clearly evolved leaps and bounds over the last couple of years. He looked stronger, sharper, and more composed than ever. UFC President Dana White had high praise for Paddy's breakout win. Paddy Pimblett showed tonight that he is the real deal, Dana said during the post-fight press conference, beating Michael Chandler and beating him the way that he did. I don't know how you can doubt the kid anymore. But yeah, he's in that spot now where he's gonna be fighting top guys. Dana White said, with Chandler ranked number 7 going into the fight, Pimblett's dominant finish puts him firmly in the conversation for a top 5 matchup next. Though Paddy was sitting at number 12 before UFC 314, that win catapulted him into serious title contention, and he's not shying away from calling out the big names. After the fight, Paddy didn't hesitate to throw some shade at Arman Tsarukyan, calling him sausage and clearly dismissing him as a potential opponent. But beyond Arman, Paddy made it known that he's ready for any of the division's elite. Could we see a bout with Dustin Poirier? Now that Paddy handled Chandler with such ease, maybe Poirier changes his mind and agrees to take that fight. Or perhaps the UFC has other ideas. If Ilia Topuria ends up getting the title shot against Islam Makhachev, maybe Pimblett could be lined up for a showdown with Charles Oliveira, a fight he's already publicly said he wants. Or what about a slugfest with Justin Gaethje? Both of those would be massive fights, not just for Paddy, but for the fans and the division as a whole. One thing is certain, Paddy Pimblett has arrived. He's not just a hype train or a loud personality. He's a dangerous, evolving fighter with serious skills and an even bigger star presence. Whoever the UFC pairs him with next, it's going to be must-see. So who do you want to see the baddie fight next? Before we continue, subscribe and click the bell icon to help support the channel. The MMA world is on fire right now, and at the center of the storm is Michael Chandler. After his fight at UFC 314, fans and fighters alike are accusing him of using dirty tactics to gain an edge. And one of the loudest voices calling him out, none other than Paddy Pimblett. Even before the fight, Paddy wasn't shy about what he thought of Chandler's behavior inside the cage. Yeah, he's the nicest man in the world outside the cage, and when he gets in there, he's a dirty, I probably will mention it to the ref in the back. I don't want to have a ref that's just gonna let me get rabbit punched in the back of the head consistently, Paddy said. That wasn't trash talk, it was a warning, and after the fight, Paddy made it clear that what he feared actually happened. He accused Chandler of repeatedly punching him in the back of the head in the first round, but it didn't stop there. Paddy also claimed Chandler kicked him in the groin on purpose, just to buy himself time to recover. He hit me with about 4 punches in the back of the head in the first round. You never know, or he might have kicked me on purpose because he needed a little break, and it was him that was gassing, not me, Paddy explained. When he kicked me in the balls, it was a flush kick as well. Me balls were still hurting when I said, let's go. I could see he was tired, so I wasn't giving him this breather to get his breath back and throw a big punch at me. It didn't take long for the MMA community to explode online. Social media lit up with fans echoing Paddy's frustration. One comment read, 3 things in life are certain: death, taxes, and Michael Chandler cheating. Another said, fish hooks, low blows, punches to the back of the head. Chandler's gonna bring a steel chair next time. And it just kept going. Not a Chandler fight without some cheating, one fan posted. Others went even harder, calling him a cheating HGH fiend and saying, Chandler is so washed, the only way he stays in fights is by breaking the rules. These aren't just salty comments from angry fans. They're coming from a growing belief that Chandler might be building a reputation as a fighter who bends the rules whenever things get tough. Whether it's fouls during a scramble or controversial strikes during chaos, the pattern seems to be bothering more and more people. Now the big question is, do you think Michael Chandler is deliberately fighting dirty, or are these just high pressure moments that get taken out of context? Is it all just part of the fight game, or something more? Let us know what you think in the comments. Michael Chandler is once again under fire from the MMA community, and this time, the accusations are louder than ever. After his recent fight at UFC 314, fans and fighters alike have been calling him out for what they describe as dirty tactics inside the octagon. One of the loudest voices? Paddy Pimblett. Before the fight even happened, Paddy made it clear he wasn't going in blind. He warned fans and even said he would alert the referee about Chandler's habits. Yeah, he's the nicest man in the world outside the cage, and when he gets in there, he's a dirty— I probably will mention it to the ref in the back. I don't want to have a ref that's just gonna let me get rabbit punched in the back of the head consistently, Paddy said, clearly trying to get ahead of the situation. He doubled down during the post-fight interview, visibly frustrated by what he believed were multiple illegal shots during the bout. He hit me with about 4 punches in the back of the head in the first round. Know what I mean? Not even got said to him, Paddy explained, but it didn't stop there. According to him, Chandler may have even kicked him in the groin on purpose to buy himself some time to recover. You never know, or he might have kicked me on purpose because he needed a little break, and it was him that was gassing, not me. I felt fresh, Paddy said, clearly implying foul play. He went on, when he kicked me in the balls, it was a flush kick as well. Me balls were still hurting when I said, let's go. As I say, I knew he was tired. I could see he was tired. So I was like, I'm not giving him this breather so he can get all his breath back and swing a big punch at me. I just got right back into the action. The MMA community didn't stay quiet either. As soon as the fight ended, fans jumped into the conversation with heated opinions. Online forums and social media were flooded with posts slamming Chandler. One fan sarcastically wrote, "Fish hooks, low blows, and strikes to the back of the head clearly aren't working. Look for Chandler to use a steel chair next fight." Another added, "3 things in life are certain: death, taxes, and Michael Chandler cheating in a fight." The backlash didn't slow down. Comments like "Chandler stays cheating" and "not a Michael Chandler fight without some cheating" became common across the internet. One user even went so far as to say, "Chandler is a cheating piece of terror that not only juices, but also intentionally fouls almost every opponent he faces. I'm happy to see him lose brutally." Others referenced Chandler's controversial win over Tony Ferguson, calling this fight payback for Tony, "You cheating HGH fiend." It's clear that a large part of the MMA fanbase believes this isn't a one-time issue, but rather a pattern in Chandler's fighting style. One viewer summed it up by saying, "Michael Chandler is so washed he only hangs around in fights by cheating. This has been the case for years." Now, the big question remains, are these accusations fair? Is Michael Chandler truly a dirty fighter who bends the rules to win? Or are these just emotional reactions after a tough bout? Let us know what you think in the comments.